Let's just reflect on Scottish unity now, because this is very much going to be an issue of not the day, but of the next couple of years, really. Now that we know the First Minister of Scotland has got her plan laid out as to how she thinks she can bring the circumstances to bear on a second referendum, let's get a view from Pamela Nash, shall we, who is the Scotland in Union Chief Executive. So I think we know where you're coming from, Pamela, on this, but your organisation, I think, has tried to take the pulse of the Scottish people. What have you discovered?
Yeah, Scotland in Union is the campaign making a positive case for Scotland to remain in the UK, and this week we have published some polling which shows that the First Minister's announcement is wildly out of touch with what the people of Scotland want and need from their government. In fact, only 38% of people support her timetable for another referendum.
OK, but I've got a headline here that you found 52% said there should not be another ballot on the issue in the next 24 months. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
We know about 52, 48% down here.
Yeah, and 52 won. But what I would say is we also looked at what people wanted for the priorities for this government. And people were asked for their top 3 priorities for the government. And out of 3, even only 12% of people chose independence as one of their top 3. What people want from their government is to be concentrating on COVID recovery, not just in the immediate future, but for the period of this Parliament. And looking at the issues that really matter to people, looking at increasing the job market, looking at how do we tackle the climate emergency, not wasting civil service resources and time on another divisive referendum.
57% of those polled wanted Scotland to stay part of the UK, 43% supported independence. Are you at all concerned that those numbers could change in the energetic and unpredictable circumstances of a campaign?
Well, I think over the 7 years now since we had the referendum, figures have actually remained pretty static. When we've had periods of upheaval, when we look at the start of the COVID epidemic and just after Brexit, yes, there was a jump in support in the polls temporarily for independence. But really, people are pretty solid in their view that Scotland is stronger than the UK. And I've got no doubt if there was a referendum tomorrow that Scotland would again vote to remain in the United Kingdom. But the fact is, a referendum doesn't come without costs. Many of us still have the painful memories of the last referendum, never mind the financial cost to the country. So we don't want to go through that again unnecessarily.
Pamela, does Boris Johnson being on the side of retaining the union help or hinder the argument?
Look, it would be mad if the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom was not supporting Scotland remaining in that United Kingdom. He
never goes to Scotland, though, doesn't he? He's persona non grata in Scotland.
I think he was here quite recently, actually.
He's going to come up for. He's got to turn up for the COP26. I don't think he can do that remotely, can he?
No, but I think what we want to see is it shouldn't just be Boris Johnson making this case. We need to see it, particularly from the Labour Party. The Labour Party has an important role in making the left-wing socialist case for Scotland within the United Kingdom. The Labour Party has that opportunity to make the case for the pooling and sharing of resources creating a stronger country, not just for people in Scotland, but for throughout the United Kingdom. So we need to hear that louder and clearer too.
Good to talk to you, Pamela. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. That's